Oh ja, dan
Nee,
kel je de
geen
stream
idee
uit.
overigens.
Dat is onhandig voor mij.
Nou, het koppelen natuurlijk wel.
Ja,
Kijk,
nu komt hij
ik weet
weer
dat
terug,
die
maar is
Lawrence
Facebook ook
Dickey,
terug?
die video, dat interview, die demo zeg maar van Vivid bij iEar, die Jaap gefilmd heeft. Dat hij met die O-ring, met dat had zo'n muziekboxje, die draaide.
Opnieuw erin
Dan
gooien.
zet hij hem op een kast. Dan hoor je het geluid heel erg gedaan.
All right. Ooh, now that went well.
We are live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. Good morning.
Some hiccups on the computer, but everything is fine now. Door has to be closed. Still open, but...
Is it because of the Windows update?
No, this wasn't. This was a human error. No, Windows update was Friday. We fixed it, but it's all fine now. Well, good morning, all. We're live. Speaker decoupling.
Yeah.
A very nerdy subject, but I thought it would be cool to do this at least once. Do you use speaker decouplers?
I do. Well, you told me that spikes are not decouplers.
No, spike is coupling actually.
So I don't use it.
You don't?
I have spikes.
You only have spikes, and you?
Oh, no.
I have those, yeah.
I do. I have Isoacoustics.
Oh, the feet.
The feet. The
Yeah. Well, that's definitely
no, not the feet. The
aperta, the platforms.
Yeah, the platforms for the monitor speakers.
Jeffrey uses them as well. I have no experience with those, but they should be the same.
They're price quality wise, they're awesome.
Pretty cool. I used Isoacoustics as well for years now with the Sopra #1, which we're going to sell, by the way. So, hint, hint. The orange vocals are on sale on Marktplaats in Holland. And for you, there were some questions with what speaker we're going to replace them. I'm really thinking about the TAD Evolution 2.
Well,
they're very, very, very nice, and we need to sell the Sopras because they're actually really, really expensive. But yeah, that's what you have with love. I'm really in love with those loudspeakers. But that's a whole other story.
And they are decoupled by design.
By design, yes, they are actually. It's all in the loudspeaker, but not with this. Maybe Eric can follow me because I was about to introduce the test system first, and then we're going to talk about the platforms and decouplers.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Helios from Haarlem, there in the back of the Waardepolder, was kind enough to send us the ATC SCM40As, and we all know them. Because they were in a test before. Active, because I wanted to minimize the whole test system. It's not about the loudspeakers or the subwoofer or the electronics. This test is about the decoupling systems. So the plan was to have a minimal test system that was performing well enough to let us hear the differences in the decoupling technology. So SCM40A. Active loudspeaker, you can read the review in the high-end studio speaker test, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where Tim Knoll was completely falling in love with these speakers.
Yeah, well, I can imagine. Yeah. They're really nice. Then we have our famous Mutec MC3 Plus USB. I think we all own one now.
Yes.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't have a USB.
But you have to have one.
I don't have a. I don't have a USB deck, so.
Well, it doesn't matter because it reclocks AES, SPDIF, optical, everything.
It even reclocks your TV if it's connected.
If you want to.
Oh, then I want
there
one.
is
It's
it
an
improves
amazing,
the image. It's amazing what it does.
It's an amazing piece of technology. I can't live without it anymore. It's really good. So the Ambre streamer goes into the Mutec. The Mutec reclocks the signal and then puts it into the Sonnet Pacitea. It's our new reference deck along with the Grimm UC1. This one works better with the ATCs. It's more open, it's more punchy, it's a little bit faster, I have the feeling, but both are really, really good. This has a lossless volume control as well, so this one actually goes directly into the ATCs, nothing in between, and well, I think it sounds pretty well. And it has two outputs, and that's also the reason we have to use the Pacitea, because this one has XLR and single-ended out. So the single-ended goes into the subwoofer, and the XLR goes into the ATC.
And how is the channel separate? The crossover.
It's all built in the subwoofer, so you can choose the crossover frequency. You can use select the volume and the phase.
Yep.
So it's a nice subwoofer. I don't have enough experience to say anything more than that. I have no clue how well it really performs. It sounds good, I think.
It seems to fire down.
Yeah, it's a down-firing sub, and that's the thing with the platforms. You're actually firing on the platform now, and also with the recoil stabilizer. So I'm curious what the effect will be in this case. Cables are made by Yeti Cable and Grimm. So Yeti power cables, Grimm signal cables. And this is the first time I'm using the Titan on the ATCs. I think it works. I think it works really well, actually, because the power is dirty in the studio. And I think it's more loose with the Titan in between. But we'll test it afterwards, maybe.
Well, I think for a simple system, it's still pretty complex.
Yeah, but if you look at it, it's actually the deck on the speakers. And we've put some stuff in between for the streaming to make the signal clean and let us work with Roon. But you can use any source on the Pacitea, and the Pacitea is the volume control and the deck. And you don't need a subwoofer, but we wanted to test platforms under a subwoofer. But for our tests, this is really simple. Most of the time we use more gear. So for me, this is really simplistic. Martijn and I are going to swap out the platforms, and Jung is going to tell you all about the systems if we swap out the platforms and the spikes.
Well, that's Martijn.
Sorry?
Well, we'll talk,
Jung is going to talk about it. Yeah, yes. Sorry. Jung is going to talk about the systems, but first we're going to play some music, I think.
Yes, and since we don't have, as you may have noticed, we don't have live music.
No.
Unfortunately, it's the festival season is starting here in the Netherlands. It's also May holiday-ish. Yeah. So it was kind of a challenge to find a band because we're also restricted on the size of the bands. But I think since we are starting, we are testing pretty, it's pretty specialized stuff. So we have to test bass, sub-bass, kick response. We might as well don't have live music. But we promise you next time we'll have it. And but this time we don't.
No. Someone is asking, does the Titan also remove transformer hum? No. It's purely a filter. You need a galvanic isolation for that, or a DC blocker if you have hum. So that's something different, or DC block. So no live music, but we wanted to have a vote on the fourth test track.
Yeah.
We have 3 test tracks already. That's Zucchero with I Ruben Me, Tin Pan Alley, piece of it because it's a long, long track made by Stevie Ray. Of course, Jacques Louchet.
Because of the elections?
Yeah, And we have 3 other tracks, and we were thinking about Moloko.
Moloko with
I Want You.
I Want You, yeah.
Live in color.
Oh yeah,
With
Live
the
in
Go
Color.
Away.
Go away.
Live in Color, yeah. That's a cool one. Or Giorgio by Moroder by Daft Punk.
Yeah, they're starting after his intro. So
Yeah, we skipped the
but
intro.
if you have any other bright ideas, just let us know.
Something with bass,
We
and
need
a lot of punch.
we need
Yeah.
punch, bass response, kick, and very dry. So we want the pulse.
Yeah.
Well, what's pulse behavior?
Yeah.
Call that?
Yeah, impulse response. That's the word, I think.
Impulse response.
Impulse response. Yeah. So you can vote in the chat what track you would really like, and let's start off with the Townsend. What can you tell about Townsend?
Did we talk about what were the 3
Not yet,
types?
but
Maybe we have to do that.
yeah. Well,
Can you follow me? So we have 3 types. So we start out with the most price unfriendly ones, which are the Townsends.
yeah.
These are platters, as you can see, on 4 feet, and it's British. Then we have Isoacoustics.
Isoacoustics, yeah.
Uh,
Gaia.
Gaia, they make these things to mount underneath the speaker. I have the, what are they
Aperta.
called? The Apertas, which are, well, very simple stuff. It's very plastic fantastic, but it works amazingly. It has isolators in between the stuff. It's, well, it's pretty, it's very price friendly, to say the least. So Jaap will mount this under the speakers.
Yeah.
And to end up,
Yeah, we have
you have it here.
a smaller one. Yeah.
This is also Canadian, Primacoustic, and it's pretty heavy. It has a metal plate and a foam cushion. And this is meant for studio monitors. So you have your stand or your whatever, your desk, and you place the monitor on top of it, and then you're happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're going to find out today.
Are you happy?
Are you going to be happy with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've used this also in the studio.
Yeah, you have one of those
Yeah,
as
and
well,
you can tilt it as well. You can buy it like this.
Yeah. Well, back and forth.
Yeah,
I saw.
back and
yeah,
forth.
you can use both. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's, these 2 are Canadian, and this is British.
No, that's British as well. Primacoustic, I think. No, Canadian. Ooh.
British Columbia.
British Columbia. Oh, okay.
Ontario, and this one is from
Townsend is really
South London.
South London. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So-
Well, they differ in price, but we're not going to mention the prices yet.
Yes.
First, I want to talk a little bit about Townsend
Yes.
technology, because it's quite interesting. You have all sorts of load cells, like they're calling it, and this is a spring and a zuiger.
Suction cup.
Well, cylinder.
Cylinder, yeah.
Cylinder, yeah. And you can actually tension it or loosen it. And how we did it is we first put it on the base, then we tighten it and loosen it until the speaker starts floating. You can also do it the other way around. I think your hi-fi choice,
Yeah,
like
the
it's
dealer.
the dealer, loosens it and then tightens it, but yeah, then it was completely on the ground, and I think it's easier to just lift it all up
Yeah.
and then, loosen the
So
loudspeaker.
actually, this is a little bit loose now.
Yeah, definitely. If you tap it, it will go like this.
Let's see.
Be
It's like that.
careful. Yeah, it's definitely loose.
Whoa!
See? Yeah, it's completely loose.
But you can tighten it if you want to.
Yes, but the whole idea is that be careful.
Don't let them fall off.
I think this is one of the things I'm scared of with these platforms.
So
We have a cat, and if it jumps on the loudspeaker, you have to tighten it pretty firmly to lock it.
Yeah.
You can lock the platforms, but then the whole idea of the spring loading is gone, of course.
Yeah, if you lock it, then you're
yeah, you have a very expensive
platform.
bass.
Oh, we didn't mention the price.
No,
yet.
not yeah, but these are not cheap. You have different weight classes, and they have this table on the website. You have the AA, A, B, C, D, E, F class, and it goes from 2.8 kilos up to 200 kilos. So you can put pretty heavy loudspeakers.
And this one is for?
This is yellow.
Yellow.
Up to this one is yellow. Those are green. Yellow is for 20-ish kilos.
But
and
a piece, so with 4 you can do 100.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. That's a good question, actually. Is it per piece or is it per 4? We'll figure that out. I'm not sure yet.
How many kilos can it have? Green?
Green is from 21 to 45-ish,
Must be a
50-ish.
piece. It must be a piece.
Because the speakers are 39 kilos,
Yeah,
roughly.
around 40. Yeah,
So probably the platform can then handle
yeah,
between
more
80,
than that.
80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared that they put the wrong ones because you really need to twist it to loosen it and get it in balance, because the back of the loudspeaker is actually more heavy than the front. So if you put them all in the same tension, the loudspeaker will lean back, or in this case lean forward, because we had to put it a little bit forward. You have to play around with that. It's quite important that you look and take time to tune it. It took some time to tune this.
Yep.
And with the subwoofer it's the same. You can actually mix and match the colors. The dealer actually put, with some subs, the weight is all in the back.
On the back.
Yeah, because of the active system. So he put the green ones on the back and the yellow on the front. You can play around with that.
I read about I read something about these decouplers before, and I've understood that Townsend's thing is that it completely isolates any form of
Everything.
vibrations coming in through the bass. So if you have a heavy truck running in the streets and you have some movement from the truck, then this completely isolates the speakers from that movement.
Yeah, and it goes both ways.
Yes.
So no bass back in the floor and no resonance in the loudspeaker from external sources.
Okay.
So
then people are going to say, okay, you are completely bonkers for trying this out, for doing this kind of stuff. We're going to find out, because we're going to play today with these platforms, and then we're going to play without them. So you can hear the difference and if they do anything at all. So you can listen for yourself. Yeah.
And also you can use it. I think it would be the most ideal thing for record players.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because then you don't want, because I have a record player layers at home, and you hear so much when you just walk on the floor. Even if it's concrete, you hear the vibrations into the system. So you really want that.
Or with wooden floors, and in Holland we have houses that are actually in one big row, and they're all connected. If you have a wooden floor or connected floors in between houses, this could isolate the bass. So your neighbors won't hear you playing that loud. It could work, I'm not sure.
Okay.
What's the first track we're gonna try?
Let's start with Zucchero.
Zucchero, Ruben Me. Good one.
It's a Sunday morning, so
let's start slowly. Ruben Me by Zucchero.
C'è sempre neve al nord, con raffiche di vento, i mari non lo so, il inondazioni, i rubami. I rubami. I rubami. Piove a diretto sul mio viso, scrosciando a rivoli andò, dal sangue ghiaccio come un sorriso, in fondo al sole, il nostro sole no. Ma se non torni qui, prevedo inondazioni, i rubami. I rubami.
All right. Okay.
What a big, luxurious sound
Oh,
stage. It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
These ATCs
Yes, this is... Where can I order a pair?
are magic
yeah.
mid-range.
Yes.
It's incredible. Yeah. Oh, I still have the shoot. I have my sound on. Sorry. Yeah, I love the mid-range of this loudspeaker. It's so open. But I must admit, it's a very good recording. I
Yes.
didn't know it.
Yeah, Zucchero von Acciari. I think it was his third album in Italian. After this album, he started to do all these collaborations
Yeah.
with Sting and I don't know, all these artists. And
Yeah.
This is from the 80s still, 89 or
this is
so.
in the 90s, I think, already, early 90s. But it was a time when recordings were made which sounded like this, not that harsh anymore, like
No.
in the 80s, better. Dry bass, very dry bass sounding, and a lot of spatial information. So that's why I chose this one to listen to. And you don't want to have it fall apart, you want to have his voice, which is nicely embedded in the music, in the sound, and his pretty loud guitar playing and really poignant kind of guitar sound that
Yeah.
he made,
Yeah.
which is also a very 90s, early 90s sound kind of guitar playing.
I like it.
Yes, I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's like
And it's well, I don't know how you can improve this, to be honest.
it's hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed with other tracks that I know, the sound of the system now is very well balanced.
Yeah.
So I hope that we're gonna hear lots of
And
differences.
what do you think? Because you know this track pretty well. I know it only from playing
No.
back in the day. No,
Oh.
because we played Tsukuro in our band.
Yeah.
So I followed him from his first album already. Because it's
Blues, yeah.
so well. He's a rock star, and he is and he is funky, and at the same time he has a big band with. But what do you think of this? How it sounded right now? Because you know the song pretty well on the recording.
Yeah, it's there's so much layering and so much stereo effects mixed into this one, but sometimes if you have a system which is very analytical, you will hear all those placements and then it will fall apart. But here it's still coherent,
Yeah.
and it has a nice. You want to have that fuzzy feeling inside when you listen to this. It has to be sounding comforting somehow.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
So I really like how it sounds on this system. Yeah.
Tin Pan Alley.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray. We're not gonna play the whole track.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, damn. I tried to be short in the scripts, but yes, you're right. Yeah, here it is. I'm not gonna play the whole track because it's 9 minutes or something like that. It's really long. Do you know which part it starts to
No, I don't know this track
that well?
very
Okay.
well. No.
Let's just start it. Let's see how we go.
too hot down there. Couldn't stay very long. Ireland's the roughest place I've ever been. All the people down there, living for the whiskey, white and gin.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
This is
This is the blues.
this is definitely the blues.
I need cigars and whiskey.
Oh, that would be good. Eric, bring us some whiskey. Bring it on. Yeah, it sounds really, really bass heavy.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
How it differs when the platform is away.
Yeah, because sometimes you notice that dip. It's like
Yeah.
do woo.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what that will do when the platforms are gone. If it's going to be just as defined.
And I'm also curious if the platforms also will influence the sound of the mid-range of the guitar, because you hear so much when he picks the notes and the very soft after effects on the strings of the guitar.
Yeah.
If that will do anything in the
Yeah.
separation.
Oh, here you really hear the mid-dome tweeter, the reverb. You could hear so very well.
Yeah.
I think Martijn could notice which type of reverb is used and to what extent. It
Probably.
was so detailed.
Yeah, it's
And
incredible.
it's interesting to find out if decoupling also influences mid-range.
Yeah.
And,
That's an interesting effect, because I was talking, of course, with the distributors of all the stuff, and Isoacoustics said, yeah, but it also influences the stereo imaging
it
and the
does.
mid-range and the treble. I said, yeah, it can, of course, but isn't that because of the bass response? If your bass is different, your psychoacoustics will tell you that the mid-range and treble is different, because there's a shift in balance. I think if your system is more balanced and more round in the bass, you will notice a difference in mid-range and treble, if you know what I mean. If a speaker is not
Bass
really
heavy, yeah.
round or bass, or the bass just stops at 60 hertz, you have the feeling it's more up front. So maybe because of that, but we'll notice, I think.
Or not.
yeah, that's
Or
good.
not, of course. Jacques Luchet, and someone said everything but the girl, and I think that's a
Yeah.
very good
Yeah, that's nice.
track
Which
to
one?
test it.
The later one or the earlier one?
That's a good one. Let's debate on which track.
Okay.
We'll start Jacques Luchet. We all know Jacques Luchet now, so
Yes, we know him.
we have 3 minutes to choose the everything but the girl. All right?
Yep.
Okay, Jacques Luchet. Wow, that was different.
Yeah, we were debating during playing because are we hearing this right? I mean, it was so different from what we are used to.
Yeah.
It's different from everything I've ever heard, including this loudspeaker. It feels a bit staccato to me.
Yeah.
Like the piano is, you have the hit on the note and it's gone.
Gone. Yeah.
It's missing energy.
Yeah. It feels like that.
As if the seismic load cell is doing too good a job.
Well, the attack in the bass is okay, I think, the bass kick, but it's also very short. But maybe it should be like that. I don't know.
It's very closely mic'd, and I don't know how much. Normally, we have a lot of reverb in this.
It feels more like smooth and and now it's so different.
Yeah.
So these things definitely do something.
Yeah, but also the notice the piano is here the tricky thing because it's probably recorded like with two mics, one on the lower notes
left, right.
and one on the.
Well, it's mastered left, right, I think.
Okay, the piano notes on the higher part of the piano are like springy and very, happily rhythmic, and then the lower part is also almost like dry and not as prominent as normally.
No. Double bass sounded not like a double bass, but like
electric
or so. It didn't have the timbre of a double
very
bass.
dry, very short.
But you
notes.
also mentioned it. Phil Ear said something is missing.
Yeah.
The attack.
Attack is missing to me as well. It's just too dry. But like I said, maybe it should be like this because the recording is like this. I know the next song very, very well.
Okay.
I am still a big fan of Everything But the Girl. I also like Massive Attack and Portishead. No, that genre. So I'm curious how this will sound because I recently played this album a lot. Let's go. Oh, this is the remix. Oh, I got the wrong one. Sorry. This is
remix. Is it a remix like this?
Yeah.
Terrible.
This is it.
Off the train, I'm walking down your street again and past your door. But you don't live there anymore. It's years since you've been there, and now you disappeared somewhere like out of space. You found some better place, and I miss you like the deserts miss the rain, and I miss you. Oh, like the deserts miss the rain. And could you be dead? You always were 2 steps ahead of everyone. You walk behind where you would run. I look up at your house, and I can almost hear you shout down to me where I always used to be. And I miss you like the deserts miss the rain. And I miss you like the deserts miss the rain. Back on the train, that's why did I come again? And can I confess, I've been hanging around the old address, and the years have proved to offer nothing since you moved. And you're long gone, but I can't move on, and I miss you. Oh, like the deserts miss the rain, and I miss you. Like the deserts miss the rain. I step off the train, I'm walking down your street.
All right. Well, the second part is mostly the same, and we will play this track fully in the next test, but we have to keep the schedule, otherwise this test would last for 3 hours. And we have 4 test tracks now. It's good, but still...
It's a bit dry, and
Yeah.
but also very rhythmic.
Yeah.
The rhythmic part is emphasized a lot, I think, right now.
Yeah.
It's got good things and bad things.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I like the rhythmic and the feeling and the attack, but it's also a bit dry.
Yep.
But we will notice the differences when we get them off the platforms. So let's do that.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
So you take them off now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And maybe you
On the floor.
can
Yeah, well,
tell
I'll
a
tell
little bit
something.
more about
Townsend.
Townsend. Yeah, what they do. They have this
Well,
claim.
what they say is that the system, the key component, what they call, is the seismic load cell. It consists of, and now I'm reading just the on website, but a high quality alloy steel compression spring surrounded by a flexible synthetic rubber jacket with 2 end plates. So we just played with it. It's basically, the spring is inside here, and here are and on the floor, it just pushes it down here. You can see that. And you can adjust it like this. And what's interesting is that Townsend does also make isolators for pianos, so you can put it underneath pianos. But they also make cables, preamps, super tweeters. So they don't.
Electronics. as well.
They also make electronics, and already for nearly 5 decades, so 50 years. And it's they're focused on the consumer market, mostly high end, and British.
All right.
So, what did you guys do?
Well,
So that's interesting. I thought that also spikes were, well, they're a method of isolating or decoupling, but it's,
No.
according to you, it's not.
no, spikes couple. I must admit that up to 2 years ago, I also thought spikes would decouple, but they actually coupled. You just put the energy in a very, very tiny spot, but it's still coupled to your floor. But you just make the
Connection.
surface
Yeah,
smaller.
yeah.
That does introduce issues. You forwarded an article
Yeah.
to the Alpha group, and I read that, and that guy actually measured the influence of spikes or just put the speaker plane on the floor, and sometimes that's even better than spikes. There was a really interesting
Yeah,
article.
because it can fire back the energy.
Yeah, because it needs to find a way to the other surface, and if you have a wooden floor or it resonates differently than a concrete floor. This is concrete.
Yeah.
I think the effect of the Townsend will be different on a wooden floor. At home I have a wooden floor with spacers, so there's actually space in between the concrete and the wood, and I really need to decouple, otherwise my neighbors would go crazy with my music.
Yeah.
So it does work. I need to put some pink noise on the microphone, so Martijn, maybe you can put it in mono for me, and then I can do this. Staat hij al in mono? Was it in mono, Martijn? Now? Okay, yeah.
And you couldn't hear a difference.
No. Ah, there it is. much better. Okay, good enough. There we go. Has to be correct.
A difference between spikes and decoupling feed. I noticed I have audiophysic loudspeakers at home.
Yeah.
And audiophysics already some time ago brought out a different feed, which are basically O-rings
Yeah.
underneath. And I bought those then because I had a wooden floor and I had little cups under these spikes. But every now and then it would go off the little cups when
Oh yeah.
with cleaning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had little holes in my wooden floor and I didn't like that. So I bought those feet. But the effect on the sound was huge. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can definitely hear that. Shall we do 2 tracks
Yes.
for this one? Jacques Louchet and...
Stevie Ray Vaughan, I think, because of the deep bass.
Okay.
Yeah, then we can see if it still can
Yeah.
handle the sub bass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
energy.
because this is not really interesting, I think. And these are stock spikes and stock
Just to hear the
subwoofer.
difference.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we can maybe do Jacques with the Primacoustic under the sub, and then do the Isoacoustics under the speakers to see what the differences are. Let's start with Jacques. I'm really curious what this will do. There we go. Oh, shoot. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, if anybody in the comments below the video will ever say that all these gadgets don't do anything at all, they must be completely deaf, I think.
Yeah.
I think we've proven that they do something.
Definitely.
Yeah. But
Yeah, if you like it, that's the second. That's another thing. But they
Yeah.
really have an effect on the sound. And
there are three things I think with the Jacques Louchet truck which I noticed is the reverb is back. which was
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
With the Townsend.
Yeah.
The piano sounds very different. There's a lot of the rhythmic precision of the piano is gone. There was with the Townsend there was a rhythmic precision
Yeah.
to the piano which is gone. There's the whole mid range is more like, well, it's not as precise. It's a
No,
bit more
Muddy, more.
muddy, more
Yeah.
stressful. But also the cohesion between the drummer, the bass player, and the piano is different.
I noticed
There's
From-
much more drums noticeable than with the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Townsend.
Maybe also because of the subwoofer, then the floor tone is
Yep.
more
Yep.
more pronounced.
enhanced, more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were thinking Friday when we set up the subwoofer, especially. This is a closed loudspeaker, so there's no bass port in the back or in the bass, so it doesn't have a down-firing port or anything. But the subwoofer
Mhm.
is tuned with these feet and this height from the floor. So if you lift it up and put a Townsend underneath, your distance to the floor is different.
Mhm.
That must have an effect.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not sure what. Probably you can measure it, and if you take the time, you could figure out what it
Mhm.
would do. But I think that's not a positive effect, because they actually tuned it with these feet in mind. I noticed it's a little bit more smooth, but like you said, you miss some rhythmic precision. Yeah. It's but there is definitely a difference. Oh my God, that was quite shocking.
Well, there was a reader who said switch off this subwoofer because it's too
Yeah.
much bass. But I don't know if it's because of the system out there, because I don't think our system.
It's not too boomy in here. No.
Not here maybe,
Here.
but maybe on the microphones,
microphones.
it could be.
If you go forward, we did turn it down because it was way too much, even on the couch. But I think it's quite okay. But someone said Townshend loses a half a dB in the bass. Recalibrate the subwoofer. Yeah, you do lose some punch. I think
You
yes.
lose some punch,
Yeah.
but you get much more tightness, and it goes deeper with the Townsends.
I do think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will notice with Tin Pan Alley,
Yeah.
3 minutes of Tin Pan Alley, different bass. I'm curious.
Timberlake. See what was going on. Things was too hot down there. Couldn't stay very long.
Alright, Tin Pan Alley. Cool effect.
Yeah.
Different.
The stereo image is much smaller.
Definitely
It's
smaller.
more recessed than it was before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some. I said to Jaap, just listening to this track with the Townsend was like listening to this in a very chic and
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
And now we're in a very greasy club. You know, there's illegal gambling in the back going on and stuff like that.
Dealing cards,
Yeah. It's,
drinking whiskey.
Yeah, it's quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you said a cool thing about the guitar.
Yeah.
It's like there's more weight in the
There's more weight in the notes.
in the notes. That's something I heard as
yeah,
well.
There's less clarity in the notes than
The reverb was much. It gave less information on the reverb on reverb on the sonic aspect of this recording.
True. I don't know which one I would prefer. I think the larger image draws you more into the music. I like precision. I heard definitely more precision in the guitar with the Townsends.
yes.
Yeah, but you also lose energy.
You do lose energy.
I think what I like about these last two recordings is it sounded to me more natural.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a live setting or when you are, the sound isn't perfect or detailed or soundstaged.
No.
I noticed that I felt the energy of the bass in my feet, which was completely not there when the podiums were under it.
And I think
right.
that's because of the height of the sub.
Could be, yeah.
I think you really messed that up with the
it could be,
platform.
yeah.
Or you would need a closed platform maybe. Because this has this neat Townsend logo in the middle. Must do something.
It's open.
It's open, yeah.
CNC'd.
I'm pretty sure you don't want that. But with the speakers, it's different. If you have a down-firing port, you need to take care of that, I think. Someone is asking, what about the depth in the soundstage? I feel it's more with the Townsend.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the soundstage is much larger and it's deeper.
And what you said, staccato or rhythmically, you know, apparently it reveals so much more detail and so much more punctuation so when the piano plays its fast note, it doesn't blur. It stays
on top,
on top, on spot. It fades out when it should fade out.
Yeah.
And here it's less precise.
Yes.
But maybe it's nice.
The less precision gives you more information from the music back, even though the soundstage is smaller.
I do agree.
Yeah.
So imperfection doesn't mean that it's...
Yeah. Shall we put the Primacoustic under the sub and play Jacques?
Yep.
Let's see what happens.
So only under the sub?
Yeah, just the sub. These are heavy, by the way.
Yep. Kan die een keer eronder?
Ja, ik denk dat ik hem wel kan vasthouden. Oh, yeah.
Does it fit one?
No, you need two.
Two?
Yeah, you need two of them.
Oké, Martijn.
Okay.
Ja.
Laat ik deze even naar voren schuiven.
So these Primacoustics, they have a metal plate on top. You could hear it now.
Yep.
And then a kind of a foam underneath, and then there's something in the middle of it, which I always forget what it is.
I have no clue what it's called.
But it's 3 layers,
Sorry.
basically.
Yeah,
Shall we do Stevie Ray again then?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. We can also do Stevie Ray again.
Yep. It's still playing, so we can...
Yes, Martijn, we play Stevie Ray. There we go.
the Timberlake. See what was going on. Things was too hot down there. Couldn't stay very long.
Louder, please. Oh my goodness.
This is
This is nuts.
yeah. Nuts is the only thing to describe it.
I'm curious if our cameraman could even hear it. Could you, Eric?
No,
No? Oh, he's working.
I have ears on.
No, and he has a headphone on, but
It's incredible. I mean, I don't want to use words like day and night, but
this was day and
difference
night.
difference was huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like everything fell into place and the muddiness was gone. So much clarity in the mid-range in the guitar. The bass was tight and smooth, and yeah. And the soundstage grew again.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. The whole soundstage was bigger.
So maybe you're right that our ears, when the low frequencies are not right, that what's called verdringen, it pushes.
Yeah.
It claims more of your listening space or so. I don't know how
I think so.
but
I think we have
apparently
I think we have an internal
Yeah.
equalizer.
yeah, because the only thing we did was
Put a piece of foam
a
underneath.
piece of foam on, yeah, underneath the subwoofer, which goes until 120 or so.
I think 25 hertz. And it picks up from 80, I think. We choose that as the crossover, pure on listening.
So it didn't affect anything above that.
Nothing.
And still we hear more highs, we
Yep.
hear more mid-range, more detail.
Yep.
The voice
Yep.
had
More clarity.
More clarity.
yeah, it was yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's
Well, this is maybe the nicest hack that you can take away
Oh.
from this live stream. If you have a subwoofer at home,
yeah.
try something like this, because
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's
Phil Ear said, "What happened? I was just taking coffee." You missed something, man.
oh
Play
yeah.
it back, Phil.
Yeah, please just skip.
Play it again, Phil.
Play the track and you know what happened. We just put some Primacoustic decoupling under the subwoofer, that's it. It was crazy. And yeah, I think, like Devil's Ear says, I think it's psychoacoustical.
Yeah.
Also, because we didn't do anything with the speakers. Just fix the bass.
Yes,
It did more than I suspected.
way more. yeah.
Jacques?
And apparently the effect is different with these guys than with the Townsends.
Yeah, I think
maybe-
because these are closed.
Yeah, they're like a new surface.
Yeah,
You
that's
just
what
lift
I
a little
think.
bit. Yeah.
I think if you mess up the space between
Yeah,
the floor
yeah,
and the sub, something goes wrong. I'm curious about Jacques Louchet, and then we do the...
Maybe also switch off the sub, because some readers ask it, but we do
Well,
Jacques.
Yeah, Jacques, and then
Cool.
we switch it off and see what happens.
Or we can do Jacques and then play Jacques
Without.
with it switched off.
Shall we do that at the end? Because
Okay, yeah.
otherwise we do too many variables, and
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
true.
really dangerous
Yeah.
in a test like this. I know the sub is a thing. I'm not really fond of subs in testing because it messes stuff up as well. It's hard to get a subwoofer right. There we go. Wow. Well. Okay. Well, this is how I know Jacques Luchet.
Yeah.
Need we say more?
Yeah.
Discussion closed.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's so crazy that in the piano, the clarity in the piano and also the separation in the recording, the left and the right on the piano is so much more distinct than without those.
I am
pieces of
curious
foam.
though, and we can do that very quickly. Put the Townsend under the sub and leave the speakers.
Yep.
Do that.
Okay. Yep.
You need the one with the smooth under surface.
Smooth surface.
Is dat die? Die is glad. Ja,
Ja.
die. Ja. I can take this away.
Give a hand.
Yeah, these need to be gone. Ja, naar voren. Dat is goed.
Beetje. Pas op, Martijn. Are you cool?
Ja,
Hebben we de goede kant op gezet?
deze. Nee, hij moet andersom, denk ik.
Nou, maakt het niet
Ja,
uit.
hij moet andersom.
Hij moet een kwart gedraaid. Een kwart.
Ik moet even kijken. Geel, er zit geel en groen onder, denk ik.
De geel is aan de voorkant.
Ja, geel en groen is aan de achterkant.
Ja. Dit is groen. Dit
Ja,
is
die
geel.
moet aan de achterkant.
En dan zo of
En dan moet die ver naar voren. Ja. Ja. It's hard.
so the front ones are different from the
Yeah.
back ones.
Yeah, they're
And
lighter.
now they should be more in balance.
Okay. Die zijn allemaal groen.
Okay.
Okay, take that one. I can't believe this is correct.
De groen aan de voorkant?
Ja, ze zijn allemaal groen. Oh, sorry. Ja. En dan moet hij...
I wonder if you would sit on it and then start talking, if it would be different.
Oh, definitely. Okay.
Only this is until, well, 80 kilos would just be fine. You decouple yourself.
Okay.
For yourself, yeah.
I just loosened
Okay.
them so it floats now.
Okay.
And let's see what happens. It's different. I think this one is better than the other one
Yeah.
with the
What's the
lighter
difference,
and
What's the difference?
the spring cells are different. The load cells. these have two versions, green and yellow.
Mhm.
Yellow is lighter than green. And the idea is that the back of the subwoofer is more heavy. So you put
Yeah,
the
because
green
the
ones
amp-
at the back.
The amp is on the back.
Yeah. But I think the weight distribution in this subwoofer is quite okay. I don't think it's that much more heavy at the back. So I just put the other one with 4 green ones underneath, and it was tuned for the ATC. That one is more heavy than the sub, so I loosened it up until it floats again. And you probably need to tune it better than we do now.
Yeah.
But you can hear a difference. I think it was better, but still
Yeah.
not as good as the
And because
Primacoustic.
it's our theory is
open.
because this is open, and this is exactly where the subwoofer fires down.
Yeah, I think it whooshes through this hole, and that's what we hear. I think we have a bijgeluid.
Subsound.
I think we have a sub sound because of the open.
Because
Platform.
we heard muddiness.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it as
Woofer.
well.
Woof.
Yeah.
But also, that surprises me again, is with the Townsend, the mid-tones and the piano is much more open and more spacious than with the other podiums. So the way the frequencies and the distribution of the frequencies are influences across the range. And that's what we hear.
Steven said to you, to YouTube listening ears, the first one was good, the second try was garbage, the last one was similar. Yeah, that's a good summation.
Yeah.
Summarize it correctly. I think we should put back the Primacoustic.
Yep.
That was the original idea. And then we put on the Isoacoustic
Acoustics.
feed. And Jung can entertain you with some background information on
We have one here.
Isoacoustic.
Yes.
Zullen we eerst eventjes
Put
doen?
on my.
We have één voetje.
Well, Isoacoustics is Canadian, Ontario. It's on the market since 10 years now, 2012. And Dave Morrison is the founding father or the brains behind this brand. And he has been collaborating closely with the Canadian broadcasting company, so the likes of the BBC or the German or the Dutch broadcasting companies, where so many famous audio brands originate from. Bowers & Wilkins worked for BBC, Philips worked for the Dutch radio system, radio company, the German famous brands had their first their first assignments came from the broadcasting companies. What they do is basically isolating speakers. And they did that in a building which was already isolated by design. So the broadcasting building of where the first products of Isoacoustics started out.
Can we have the one feedback?
Give me my feedback.
You want your feedback. So what the guys are doing now, they're screwing things up.
Definitely screwing things up.
And Isoacoustics and Primacoustic originate from the Pro Audio.
Yeah.
So they're making for domestic because there are more and more home studios, of course, but they're making stuff for home studios, but also for professional studios. And I think Jeffrey has a pair. Aperta, I do have ones, and they're really. But they, as a much pro stuff, it doesn't look very nice. It's plastic fantastic. It's, but it works, and it works for. You get a lot of bang or no bang for the buck. So Gaia is the name of the name of the feet, and you can you have the Gaia 1, 2, 3, and the Titan, and that is because of the weight they can handle. Well, what can I tell more about it?
Grote jongens.
For the big ones.
Sorry. Ja,
It's
doe maar.
okay.
Ja, even inruisen.
We'll now have pink noise in phase.
Ik denk dat de subwoofer iets meer naar voren staat overigens nu.
Moet op dezelfde lijn zijn als de rest. So they don't use springs, they don't use foam, but what do they use?
Rubber components, and
Yes.
it's multi-layered, from what I understood.
Is this the magnetic one also?
No, I
No.
asked them
No.
because there's one thing I was wondering when I just had them. They actually suck to the ground, and that is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Because of the weight, it creates a vacuum, and you can't move it. It's really stuck to the
Yeah.
floor. But
Same with the Apertas,
Yeah.
they're a little bit sticky.
yeah, sticky. Yeah, but it's multiple layers of rubber, and if your speakers are heavy, they get pricey. Yeah, it's true, Phil. Here. Sorry, I have huge hay fever issues at the moment because everything is in bloom. So everything I do takes a lot of effort at the moment. But I've been using these for years, and I noticed the biggest difference with the Sopra. And at home with the Epicon 2, because I have a wooden floor, the bass got a lot more tight, and I liked it. So, but let's see what happens here, because before I start talking about all the effects I had, you can see that in the review. Jeffrey uses them, Jung uses them, I use them. But let's
So
see.
don't try it at home.
Don't try it
use-
at home. You will
don't
buy
use
them.
it.
But yeah, don't try to influence.
Oh, and they
you.
only make decouplers.
Yeah. That's what they do.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
They're specialists.
Start with Jacques, because
Okay,
we
yes.
ended
Yeah.
with
Yes.
Jacques. Now we can see what happens
Yeah.
in this track. we're trying to figure out what is happening. It's really different. I think that
Well, the soundstage is back. So what we had with the Townsend, so
Yeah.
the huge soundstage is back.
Yeah.
But it sounds different. It's a little bit difficult to compare because now we have those Primacoustic
yeah.
isolators under the subwoofer, and with the Townsend we had a Townsend isolator under the subwoofer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like for like. But well, the bass is tight, very tight.
Really nice. Yeah, it's really good.
But there is some restlessness.
The upper
in
mid-range,
the upper
it's a little
mid-range.
bit, yeah,
That's what I heard. Like the mid-range is
1000
getting,
hertz.
like I said, the mid-range is different. It's more pronounced.
Yeah.
And
Maybe we should put the Townsend under the...
under the Isoacoustic, we'll do that
would
in
be
the
very
end.
nice.
Let's see what
in
happens.
the after party.
If you have all the money in the world, you can do this.
You could combine it.
I will try Tin Pan Alley.
Yep.
The first 3 minutes and see what happens.
Misschien juist iets later, als hij begint te zingen.
Yeah.
Went down to Tin Pan Alley, see what was going on. Things was too hot down there. Couldn't stay very long.
Yeah. I have the feeling, and some viewers as well, that the Gaia give more mid-bass.
Yes.
And they do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
You can hear it. It's more bass heavy than
Yeah.
it is with. It's less tight and it's more pronounced. But it
Yeah.
also pushes the whole range, what we hear, up.
Yeah, it's
So in the guitar,
more mid-focused,
yes,
I think. It's it's a surprising effect because I didn't hear that on the Sopra. You can see the effect is different per speaker. And this is a closed system. Sopra is bass reflex and Dali Epicon as well. And there I heard tighter bass Not with this. It's not tighter.
Nope.
Jung is getting one of those at the moment because we had 2 in the listening room for our power filters. Very expensive stands for power filters. You don't need them. Definitely not. It doesn't do anything in terms of noise. But I don't want to put them on the ground. I don't know why. It's psychological, I think.
You can buy a cheap piece of foam from the Gamma, Jaap.
Probably. It would do exactly the same. But I used to use them as speaker stands while burning in loudspeakers.
Yeah, okay.
Because you don't want to screw in the spikes already. I just put them in the corner, put them on this, so the neighbors don't hear all the noise. And I use those for decoupling, and it works. Well, we can put those under the sub, and the ones from the sub under the ATCs later on, and see what happens.
Yep.
I'm curious.
Can we play the Tsukuro track?
Yeah, and we have Everything But the Girl as well still. But first, Sugero.
C'è sempre neve al nord, con raffiche di vento, i mari non lo so, il rubarmi dagli occhi miei rovesci, da 7 giorni che se non torni qui prevedo inondazioni, i rubami, i rubami, i rubami. Da notte fonda in po', i mari non lo so, violenti trombe d'aria, le mie emozioni, la nebbia salirà, il rubarmi variabili dal cuore, da 7 giorni che se non torni qui prevedo inondazioni, i rubami, i rubami, i rubami.
gonna tune this down. This is only
It's different than from the first time we played it.
Yeah.
Um,
definitely.
there is the upper mid-range and the highs are more pronounced than with the first time we played it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I'm missing some spatial information and separation which was definitely there the first time. It's different. I won't say it's not good or it's bad.
Oh,
Something
that's me.
plays.
Yeah, that's me.
Um,
Sorry.
I won't say
Don't look at me.
it's not good or
No.
but it's different than the
It's
first
different.
time.
Yeah.
I hear some things go better, and I hear some things go
Especially
less.
there's some sharpness in the
Yeah.
upper
It's,
mid-range right now,
Which is
which
not pleasant.
no.
is
Sorry.
No, you were right.
Yeah.
The mid-range. But I think the mid-bass and bass is better.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part in this. I mean, you want, like always, combine the Townsend and the Isoacoustic.
That's why I say just
put with
Co-
us.
We
Combine
can
it.
try.
Yes.
I mean, we have some
We
time left.
we have no band, so we can try live.
Yeah, we can
live
try.
experiments.
I want to play Everything But the Girl.
Yeah.
First half. You don't like it.
I like it.
Oh, okay.
I like their debut album better than the new ones.
I actually do as well, but yeah, this is the famous track.
Yeah.
And then I would like the Primacoustic under the ATCs. Jung was kind enough to get this from the listening room. So we can try that, and maybe the the Townsend
I think that would
with
be
the Isoacoustics would also be cool. Just experiment a little bit,
Yeah.
and see what happens.
It was nice to see you play air guitar.
I like good guitar.
Yeah, I was practicing for the championships in Ulo, August 22 in Finland.
Maybe.
The world air guitar championships in Finland already.
Oh wow! I need to practice then.
Yeah, well, you did. But you need to stand on your isoacoustics.
Yeah, with these two, and then decoupling air guitar.
Okay.
Thank you for the advice. Let's see.
You're welcome.
Missing. See what happens.
Walking down your street again and past your door, but you don't live there anymore. It's years since you've been there, and now you disappeared somewhere like out of space. You found some better place, and I miss you. Like the deserts miss the rain, and I miss you.
Yeah, like I said, the second part is the same. I'm not really convinced with this match.
No.
It
introduces something in the upper mid-range
Yep.
and the highs which is not the best,
Yep.
I think.
No.
And probably not the best that the speaker can give us.
No.
But also the strange thing, there is something happening to the stereo separation, because there's the effect when she sings in the, like the Desert Missing the Rain the first time, they mix it in so she is in the back on that part.
Yeah.
That sounded very different from the first time. So
But
that's
I,
also
but I think
strange.
maybe if you're into deep house or so, it would be nice.
Trentemøller.
Is it that deep house?
That's pretty deep.
Trentemøller.
Yeah, and then I don't know.
Chameleon?
Vamp. Yeah, it's the first album.
Last Resort.
Yeah.
Tape
and
Me to Your Skin.
Vamp. Yeah, that's pretty deep.
Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah?
There we go. Yeah, this, yeah. See? That's clear to me. I
Yeah.
do think these feet are not the match with ATC closed floor standing speakers. But they do work on the Sopra and my Epicon really
And why
well.
would that be?
I think because of the bass reflex. That's the
So
only
it works better with bass reflex speakers than with closed
I
speakers.
think so. And why? I have to figure that out. I don't know.
Actually, with the proprietary spikes, it worked better than on this one.
Well, some things do work better, yeah. The
Yep.
mid range is better with spikes.
Yes.
And I think the mid bass and bass is better with these feet. But yeah, that's the thing. If the mid range is messed up, the
Yeah.
whole speaker sounds horrible.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I don't know why it has this effect. Do you,
Sorry.
maybe you have a
Bless you.
theory. Bless you.
If you forget, thank you.
Oh, you
Maybe
too.
maybe these ATCs like some coupling.
Could be. Could be because the energy in the cabinet needs to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And these ones absorb
Yeah.
the energy.
Yeah, yeah,
Needs
yeah.
The I'm pointing at the Townsends. People
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
see it, but I'm pointing at the Townsends. Those absorb the energy.
Yeah.
These probably don't absorb the energy. That could be, well, we're getting from a test into a discovery kind of
Could
adventure.
be, yeah, because the
trip.
energy can flow out the port normally. So you don't want any extra resonances in the cabinet, and now you have a cabinet that needs to be coupled to get rid of
Yeah.
some resonance
Yes, it
because
has
it's a closed
It-
cabinet.
you have to couple a bit.
Oh wow, did we just discover something?
Yeah, probably everybody
Yeah.
declares us mad right now, but we discovered something. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can switch off the subwoofer, and I think Magico has a point here, because let's see what happens when we put these under under the ATCs
And
without
then-
the sub.
And then
Yeah,
without, and you
Do we need to-
unscrew the...
Yeah, we need to get rid of the isoacoustic.
So we need to have to screw back
Okay.
the...
Yeah.
Then I
We
will
will.
tell something about Isoacoustics.
Yeah.
No, Primacoustic.
Primacoustic, ja. Ja, deze moet even eruit.
Well, Primacoustic, also a Canadian.
Voorzichtig.
Ja.
Where are my notes? It's also Pro Audio. It's part of the Radial group, or the company that also makes Radial audio components. And Radial are in studio and for PA. They're used for DI boxes and everything that you need when you are doing live audio. So Isoacoustics started out from Pro Audio radio broadcasting,
Hier ook.
and
Martijn, heb je mij nog aan?
Primacoustic is from PA,
heb even een takketje
designing audio system for PA companies.
Als jij,
And in 2000, Primacoustic was launched as a sub-branch from Radial, and what they make that's called the recoil stabilizer. So a monitor, a platform basically that has a retention pad, a steel platform, a curved front panel, and foam. So you can see that here. It's heavy. This is for studio monitors. It's well used, as you can see.
yeah, they are.
So here you can see the steel platform, and the surface, it's the retention pad, so it doesn't float away. Then you have the curved front panel. And, well, this is isolation foam, high density open cell acoustic foam. As you can see, they're available in a variety of sizes and weights to match whatever you need. And you can buy it flat or tilted. Because sometimes you want, when you have it on the floor, you want it like this. And when you have a studio, you want it maybe like this. So it can be adjusted to your listening position. And there's a nice client list. Harry Potter, Disney World, Facebook, US military, Winter Games, whatever.
Okay.
So guys, are you ready? Because
Almost. Yeah.
the nice thing about Pro Audio guys is they don't do much of explanation. They say, okay, just listen to our stuff.
And we need to bring out the big ones.
Yeah. Sub is going to be switched off, and this wasn't planned, so we're just improvising now.
But now you can see men at work.
Man at work, definitely.
Zal dat helpen, jongens?
Zo op zich lukt het wel. En deze moet nu op die grote.
Onder.
Ja, sorry. Dat bedoel ik.
Okay, we can also try to put it on the speaker.
Tegen die rand, tegen de tape. Nee, daarachter, sorry. Ja, sorry.
Ish. Okay.
Ja. Tegen de rand. Ja, zo. Oké.
You know.
Ja, even ruisen.
Het lampje is uit.
Ja. Idee. Ik hoor die. Nou. Improvising.
Improvisation.
Improvisation. Thank you.
It's also nice and warm when you have put it on your lap.
It's a good isolator. Which track?
Stevie Ray Vaughan, I think.
Yeah?
Because
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
bass in there
Yeah.
and the separation of the notes.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. There we go.
Couldn't stay very long. Island's the roughest place I've ever been. All the people down there, living for the whiskey, white and gin. I heard a woman scream. Yeah, and I peeped to the door. Some girl was working on any weather. Lord, with a 2x4.
Well, didn't really expect this big difference.
No, but it's huge.
It's
Yeah.
actually really, really good.
Yes. This is how it's supposed to be.
And the working principle of these is actually different. These decouple, they suck to the floor, and you have different kinds of rubber that prevent energy from going in and out. These actually decouple, but also prevent recoil. So you can, they prevent the speaker from going.
Back and forth?
Yeah.
What?
So if you have a bass kick, they prevent the speaker from going back. It has, yeah, I'm not a scientist, but that's how they tell it on the website.
Yeah.
Townsend is completely the opposite.
Yeah.
You can actually push it and it will go back and forth,
Yeah.
but they prevent resonances from going in and out. But I think that one actually does let resonances out a bit.
Yep.
It
It
did.
absorbs the energy, and
Yeah.
this absorbs less, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, it's an interesting change in sound.
Yes. But the difference here is the stereo imaging is very wide, but
Mhm.
the highs, the mids, and the bass are much more in balance now. Even when you turned on the subwoofer,
Yeah.
which here on the couch sounded like there was actually more bass, and the whole sound was opening up and going up wider,
Yeah.
which was very nice to hear. But people at home thought
Yeah.
it was too much. Yeah, I can imagine. But here on the couch, we're a bit different, in a different position from the microphone.
Yeah.
It was a very good balance, and then it shines. This system shines.
Shall we close with Townsend?
Huh?
Once more underneath. Close the circle.
Only the
Only the
ATC.
speakers.
Only the speakers.
So no sub.
Yeah, I think the
We
sub
didn't
doesn't
play,
work.
no, we didn't play Jacques with this one.
Yeah, let's play Jacques and then
A short one.
as a close
Yeah.
closing track, Townsend just under the ATC SCM40As. That would be great. And then it's way too long already, but who cares? Oh. Let's go to the Townsend. This is gonna be
the green ones.
yeah, only green. So no.
This is
smooth-
yellow. So these are green.
Yeah.
Green to the front.
Ja, dan moet sorry, de rand moet
Zo.
net tegen de
Zo.
tape aan. Ja.
Nog een keer heel warm dit.
Ja.
Doe je dat zo handig, Jaap, dit?
Jezus. Ja, ik moet ze nog. Ja, ik pak hem gewoon zo.
Oh.
Oké.
Ja.
Oh, even voor de rand tegen de tape aan. Ja.
Eentje was niet goed. Weet ik nog, want die had ik aangezet. Deze zweeft.
Ja, heel wobbly, hè?
Deze zweeft. Hij zweeft wel. Dus dat is goed. Yeah, you really need to calibrate this. Ja, deze staat goed.
Die ook.
Ja? Ja. Moet ik nog 1 keer inruisen, Martijn? Laatste keer. Oké. Oké.
Jacques.
Last track. Jacques Louchet. No sub. Just Townsend. Oh. That's not Jacques
Come on,
Louchet.
come on.
Oh, je had hem al. Sorry. Wow. Okay.
The difference with the previous ones is that here the attack and the decay of the notes is different. It's much shorter. So the attack is very quick, transients, and but also the decay then is short. And there is so much openness and spaciousness in the mids here.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I do really like the imaging, the air, the mid-range and high frequencies are so good.
Yes.
I do have some trouble with the bass. For me personally, it lacks impulse response.
Yep.
The kick is better with the Primacoustic.
But it's a very tight bass.
Really tight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like studio guy work. They prefer the tightness in the bass. I do like that as well. I think it's a matter of taste. But then pricing.
Yes, that's What are the prices of those different?
Save the best for last.
Well-
It's huge difference.
Okay, let's start with the Primacoustic.
200.
Primacoustic,
Yeah, sorry. You.
240. These are were the RX12.
Yeah. The
240
bigger.
a piece. And the RX20 are, I think, you can have more heavy load. They are 340. So that sets you back 480 for a pair.
Yeah. So we put the ATCs on the RX12s, and that worked. It worked fine, and those were 240 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Isoacoustics, you buy it with a set of 4, of course.
Yeah.
And they're 339 euros, including VAT, and VAT is 21% in our country.
Yeah.
So you need 2, of course. 2 sets of 4, so 8. So that would be 640.
680.
80.
Yeah, 680. Yeah, so it's a little bit more expensive.
And then
Yeah.
a little bit much more expensive are Townsends. Is it Townshend?
Townsend, I think.
That
Townsend.
was just seismic isolation platform size 3.
Yeah.
2,279 euros for one
Each.
each. So you are
Yeah.
4,560
And 60,
if
yes.
you want to
yes.
have 2.
Yeah.
And if you have a 7.1 system,
Let's not go there.
so that's quite some money.
Yes.
It is a big difference.
Yeah.
I do think, though, it is a big difference in stereo imaging.
Yes.
I think the stereo imaging with the Townsend is by far the best.
Yes.
It's larger, it's more precise, it's more airy. I think it has definitely an added value there. I do prefer the Primacoustic for the subwoofer, by far,
Yes.
with this sub.
I agree. Yeah.
Then, comparing price to performance, that's a hard one, because it all matters which speakers you have,
Yeah,
what
also
bank account you
matching.
have. And matching,
Matching
yes.
and your floor. If you have a wooden floor, I think these Townsends would be even more effective.
7.2 is, sorry, Jung, 72,000 euros. Someone already did the math for you.
Yes,
If you have the
2,000.
loudspeakers included, that's going to be a really expensive
2,217.
system.
Yeah, because these ATCs are how much? Again,
I think around 10,000 a pair.
a pair.
A pair
Then you have amps
inside.
inside.
I think it's a really good deal. And people, I reviewed these and the ATC SCM40 passive. Don't buy the passive ones.
Because you need a very expensive amp.
You need a good amp, and the filtering is different.
Yeah.
I have a theory about that. This one is far more neutral than the passive one. I think it has to do with phase, it has to do with speaker matching, it has to do with all sorts of stuff. I don't want to say I don't like the passive version because it's a good speaker, and I don't want to be rude to people that
Well,
like
maybe you
it.
didn't have the right amp to match.
Bryston and the Bass.
Yeah, well.
But I think in the
Did you
end,
try the new Yoko reference?
no, maybe that's the match
Yeah.
from heaven.
The Yoko reference X2.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it will match.
2 mono blocks.
I just like the active more. Can I say that?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you
think
can.
it's more neutral than the passive version. And well, we were not
that's-
talking about active and passive, but
Yeah. Okay.
There are things, well, having those isolation materials put under your speakers, I think we have proven today that it does work, it does make a difference.
definitely, yeah.
Which one is better is a matter of taste, also probably a matter of speaker and a matter of environment. What
Yeah.
is your floor like?
Good point.
And also a matter of how big is your wallet, or said otherwise, if independent of wallet size, how much are you willing
Yeah.
to spend on it? And I think then, well, there are some really good options that we try today, which are effective and not too expensive.
Yeah, but please try it
Yes.
before you buy it, because I thought honestly that these would perform better.
Yep.
Because I have really good experience with these, but they don't work that well with ATC, or maybe every
With closed
closed
systems,
system
yeah.
could be the case.
Well, and that's the third thing I would a thing I would like to add is that you have decoupling and you have sometimes components are not don't like decoupling. They have to be
Coupled,
has to be some kind of coupling.
maybe with these.
And you can also try it on your components. You can try it on your turntable. There are brands who try to do. I think Primacoustic has a basis to put underneath your guitar or bass amp.
True, yeah, they have all sorts of stuff. But on that bombshell, I think we tested way more than
we set out to do so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made more combination, but I think it's a lot of fun to do that, especially live with you guys. You've been a great audience again. Don't forget that you can support us with Patreon. I really want to mention that. We are working on a comparison tool for reviews. It's a lot of work, but that will be Patreon only, at least for a while. And maybe it will stay that way because it's a lot of work to build it. But in the end, you can compare all our reviews in terms of specs, plus pros and cons, photos, samples, measurements, everything. So we're building that at the moment, and I hope you like it. But don't forget to support us. These streams take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and there are a lot of people.
And a lot of fun.
And it's a lot of fun. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
We want to thank Eric, our cameraman, Daan,
Martijn.
our editor, or how do you say it? Producer? Director.
Director, yeah.
And the team in the studio, Martijn
Martijn
and
and Rinus.
Rinus, of course, for making this possible. And thank you guys for listening in.
There's one thing, if we can go out with some music at the end.
Sure.
Yeah. Something sad happened in the Dutch, or rather the Benelux or European music scene. Yesterday, it was even on the Dutch website, that's why I made the mistake saying Dutch, on the Dutch website that Arno Hintjes, the singer from Belgium, has passed away, sadly. He was a big figure in the music scene here in Europe. And with his band TC Medic, they were very influential on many bands that followed. So I think we have to pay tribute and end with Oh La 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 from TC Medic.
TC Medic. Oh La La La.
Oh la la la.
Oh La La La. There we go.
Yes.
We'll let this play.
Thank you.
And have fun today. Bye-bye.
And it flows, and it goes. I see lovers, I see losers. shall stand.